today's question was on how to close the sale. What are the actual steps to really closing a sale? And so one of the things in the sales insights method that we really focuses on is having a simple and repeatable process, but nothing really that crazy. So I just want to walk you through what are the key steps that we look to in terms of actually closing the deal. And one thing on how to actually close is that we've got to remember the key thing is start strong, end strong. And so if you're starting your conversation off in a way that's not very strong, you're not going to close the deal. Having said that, let's dive into what are the actual 3 steps to closing. So the first piece that we want to get right is that we want to understand a prospect's concerns. I think there's a tendency to really avoid prospects' concerns, and we see this all the time with a lot of salespeople. Is that we're almost like afraid of seeing prospects' concerns, and we want to avoid them at all costs. But what we really want to do is we want to embrace concerns. We want to get everything out on the table. And so the more you can ask questions like, so what do you feel like, what do you feel like are your central concerns in our conversation at this point? What are the reservations that you feel at this point? The more we can get those out, the better off we're going to be. So just really understanding those concerns is absolutely mission critical. And then the next step is that we want to gauge where the prospect is at. We want to basically take their temperature. And so it really is understanding basically on a 1 to 10 scale where a prospect is, on a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being, that we're completely on different pages, 10 being that we're ready to move forward. Where do you feel like you are? The 1 to 10 scale is one of the lowest pressure ways that we can really get specific feedback on what the prospect's really thinking. And that's the value of really gauging where that prospect is. And then once they actually give us a number, what we then have to do is dig, and dig. This is just so big to just go so much deeper than any other salesperson is out there. The more you can really dig into where the prospect feels like they are, the more you're going to, we almost want to think of prospects as like, icebergs in the water, and most of what our prospects are showing us is in the top of the iceberg. But where do we really want to get to? We want to get to all the way deep down below. The deeper we can get, the more likely we are to actually close that deal. And so understanding what's really going on through asking spontaneous questions and everything like that is really key. And so then the last part that we really want to understand is next. So one thing in the sales insights method that's really, I think, distinct about our approach is that we're not going for this really hardcore close. Instead, what we really want to make sure is that we have next steps in place. Obviously, there are some situations where some people are in true one-call close scenarios. But for the most part, most salespeople are not in one-call close situations. There really are a number of steps, and there are going to be other people, there are other committees. And so understanding what those steps look like, and more importantly, what that process is going to look like, and then really helping to just make sure that we lock in those next steps. It looks like look in. We want to lock in next steps. So get something in the calendar. And so first we're going to understand, basically what would you like to do next? Really understand where their head's at, and then lock in those next steps. So by using the 3 keys here, again, first, we want to understand their concerns. So 1 is concerns, 2 is gauge, and then 3 is next. By taking prospects through this process and really taking your time at this point, there's no rush here, then we start to really essentially put almost like the trains on the train track. And that's really the key to consistently and effectively closing sales every single time. And again, the goal is not to close every single sale. The goal is to close the right sales as consistently as possible. If you enjoyed this video, then I have an amazing free training on the step-by-step formula to closing more deals. Just click right here to get registered instantly. Seriously, just click right here. This is an in-depth training that will help you close more deals at higher prices, all while generating more meetings. Also, if you got some value, please like this video below on YouTube and be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel by clicking my face that should be right about here to get access to a new video just like this one each week.